Look at that gloss. Now, if your slow cooker beef stew usually comes out looking like gray, watery soup, you need to stop what you're doing. Today, we're fixing the bland and building a sticky, dark umami bomb gravy that tastes like it's simmered on a wood stove for 3 days. Welcome back to Cooking in a Flannel Shirt. Let's get cozy. The biggest mistake people make with slow cooker stew is they think that dump and go means zero prep. If you put raw meat in lukewarm water, all you get is boiled meat. We need chuck roast. You see those beautiful white lines in there? That's fat and connective tissue. And when that cooks in the slow cooker for 8 hours, that becomes a gelatin-like, oh so tasty and oh so tender to the touch. And that's the kind of meat we want. That's why this meat is so perfect. We need a hard sear. Don't crowd the pan or it'll steam, and you don't want that. We want deep brown crusts. This is flavor layer number 1. Now, if you skip this, the flannel gods are gonna frown upon you. We're gonna take the meat out. Look at that nice brown crust. That's exactly what we want. But you see this mess at the bottom of the pan? That's brown gold. That is called fond, F-O-N-D. And now we're going to build the flavor bomb that changes everything. Trust me, you really want the pan to look like this. Next thing we're gonna put in is the onions. We're gonna saute them just a little bit. I've already lowered the temperature on the pan because we're not gonna be searing the onions. After the onions is going to be tomato paste. And we're not gonna try and caramelize these. We're just gonna go ahead and get them to where they're translucent. When we deglaze our pan, I'm going to be using wine today. But if you have an aversion to using wine, you don't have to use the wine to deglaze the pan. You can use the beef broth, which is already part of the ingredient list. I'm going to estimate 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. The reason I'm putting it in there is we want to cook it up until it's a little brownish so that we don't get that metallic taste. If we were just to throw that into the crock pot, that wouldn't taste that good. We want to cook this until it turns a little rusty brown and you get a sweet smell coming from the pan. Next, I'm going to dump in the garlic, stir that around real quick. You'll be happy to know we're almost done with this pan. And there we go. It's time to deglaze. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Yeah. Oh, it smells so good too. You want to really work the bottom of the pan. Couple of reasons. First of all, that's going to go really good in your stew. And second, it's going to make it a lot easier to clean your pan when the time comes. And here is why this recipe wins. We aren't just using broth. We're adding balsamic vinegar for acid and sweetness. And then a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. This is going to be for depth. I'm going to just round that out so we made sure we had a whole tablespoonful. Here's our secret ingredient. Can you guess what it is? Soy sauce. It won't taste Asian. It just tastes more beefy. See this sludge right there? That is the ticket. We're going to go ahead and pour this into the crock pot. We begin our build by adding in the vegetables. Next, we put in our herbs, and then following that, all of the spices that we've put together. And as soon as that's in, we're going to put in the pan drippings. Look at that beautiful sludge. That is going to go oh so well. Finally, we put in our beef broth and set the crock pot to low. 8 hours later, it looks good, but it's still a bit thin. So we're going to go ahead and fix that. Let's go ahead and take out our herbs that we're not going to need in the stew. We'll make sure that all comes out. Hunting for bay leaves. Woo, it's tender. The flavor's in there. But look at that liquid. It's still too thin for a proper stew. We need gravy. So now to thicken up the gravy, we're going to put in our slurry. Remember, 2 tablespoons of water and 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. You're about to see me do something I don't normally do on this channel, but Jacqueline and I both have our preferences for our vegetables. Me, I love pearl onions. I can't get enough of them. And I'm using Aunt Nellie's pearl onions. Jacqueline is more traditional. She likes peas. And I'm going to set the timer here for about 20 minutes. I'll come back and check on it in 20 and see if it's thickened up just a bit. You know, come to think of it, while I'm waiting that 20 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and make some biscuits to go along with this, because there's nothing better than a good southern biscuit to go along with a nice hearty stew. And now, the moment of truth. I can't wait. Oh yeah, it's got just enough tang in there. That Umami Bomb is really working wonderful. Give this Umami Bomb version a try. And if you like the vibe, please subscribe. See you next time, and keep your flannel on.